You're golden. Are you golden though?
Well, my team's not golden. I had a golden dad moment tonight.
Did you? You
Yeah, I didn't tell you about it before we started because I wanted to be a proud dad for a
oh,
minute.
hey, all right.
Margo uttered the words "Daddy Podcast" tonight, and it made me feel more famous than Joe Rogan.
You're damn right. You
So
are. Yes.
that's what I told her when she went to go sleep. I was like, "Daddy has to go podcast with Mr. Adam,"
Hmm.
and she goes, "Daddy podcast." I said, "Yes." Maybe one day, maybe in 10 years, she'll be a guest.
That would be great. That would be so cool. You
So
know?
here, so here, yeah, so hearing that took you know
Mm. Took some of the sting
took
away.
my mind off how bad my team performed yet again this week. So it was quite a depressing matchup against Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm looking. I just pulled that up. Oof. 113 to 145. It wasn't even close.
Absolutely decimated by Jimmy, limping into the playoffs.
You're just becoming the underdog. One of the underdogs.
That's true. That's a fair point because last year I won as the sixth seed. So
Yeah.
maybe we're just biding our time.
Biding the
We'll have to
time, just
find out.
going under the radar. I think that's your strategy. It worked for you last year, and so you're just trying it again, seeing if lightning can strike twice.
Let's hope but things aren't looking good.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
lost, I think, two or three in a row in pretty bad fashion, not making the right roster decisions. There's just a lot of bad going on here.
yuck. Well, I think on that note, we should probably just go ahead and get get our podcast going then the right way. Welcome everyone to footballin'. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. Shit,
Isn't that the Ben Roethlisberger one?
that's the Ben Roethlisberger one.
Oh, is he a guest?
He's gonna be a guest
We have an even better guest potentially lined up for
potentially
tonight,
if
though.
he
So don't worry.
remembers. We're not gonna say
If he
his name.
remembers,
This is not.
we're not going to say his name,
No.
but if he remembers,
Yeah.
we
Hopefully,
have a special guest tonight, and hopefully he's going to tell us what's going on.
behind the
The
tool shed. I gotta turn the volume up. There it is.
Oh, you're still doing the music?
Yes.
Oh, well, my team stinks
The team just stinks.
so bad.
At least mine has stunk consistently.
Oh, Gage top, Adam bottom.
He does get the top bunk whenever we're attacking.
Thank you. So he can reach down and steal your Butterfingers.
He does. He does. And it's he he earned it this time around. He definitely did. He he put it all on AJ Brown, who finally
And
came
AJ
through.
Brown finally showed up
Son of a bitch. He did. He really did.
for the first time this year.
He had to save it for a very important
36
game.
points. Very important game. It was a very important game for both of you, and I feel bad that you didn't come out on top there, Adam.
No,
Unfortunately.
no, I tried to look and see if there was anything I could have done differently, and no, it was my team that could have done freaking stuff differently. Mika Ibuka has fallen off. I don't know. I don't know how he's still positioned ranked 10 because he has just sucked. He's had. I think he's had two or three actual good games, maybe four. I think four actual good games where he scored above 20 points, but the rest of that were all not even more than 15 points, and most recently, one, two, three, four, five, six. The 6 out of the last 7 games he's played, he hasn't scored more than 10 points for me. He was supposed to be. He was supposed to be my
He's supposed
ringer.
to be your stud.
Yeah, he was, and I named my team after him, and everything, and just
And this is what he does to you.
this is what he does to me. This
Despicable.
this egg bukake party has really has spoiled. The egg bukkake party has spoiled, and nobody wants to come anymore to this party.
Nobody, nobody at all.
Nobody at all. It's even so. I picked up Kirk Cousins over the week. During the week last week too, because I can't remember who we were saying that I should have picked up, but he was gone by the time I tried to get him. Which I don't know if that means somebody actually does listen to the podcast or not, but I don't
I
know.
I think you're gonna pick up what's his name. You're gonna pick up Jameis Winston, weren't you? But he
That's
didn't even
right.
end up starting last night, so you made the right decision.
Okay. Okay, good. That's what it was. But I could have picked like not that I was going to, but I think Tyrod Taylor had like 20
But what a
some
throwback
points.
name.
Exactly, exactly. But even that, it wasn't enough. It really came down to AJ Brown really just doubling his
30,
potential.
yeah, he did. And Gage had an overall good week. Even getting 0 points from Sean Tucker
Yeah,
and 3 points from the Browns defense. He just, his team just kind of outplayed you, unfortunately.
that's what happened. Do I feel good about his chances if he squeaks into the playoffs? I don't know. He doesn't have a really good running back core other than Ashton Genty.
No,
He might have trouble because he's got Sean Tucker, who's essentially now become like the number 3 running back since Bucky Irving came back to Tampa Bay, I believe.
and
And
Alvin Kamara is a shell of what he once was.
exactly. So he might be looking to make a last. Can we still have trades next week? This coming
I
week.
think the trade deadline's next week. Yeah.
Yep. So he might want to make some moves if he thinks he's going to squeak into the playoffs. So
He's very slim chance. He has very slim chance of doing so, and I have some stats I'll share with you before we do the league superlatives.
okay,
But
okay, okay.
he has a very slight chance of making the playoffs. So there's a lot that has to happen in
Yeah.
his favor.
Well, not to get ahead of your stats, I with this loss have been eliminated.
You've been eliminated, unfortunately.
That's okay. It's all right. You know what? Don't need this win. Don't need to win it this year. I've won it. I think I won it once this time. In our
No,
league.
you play in week 14. We'll look at that in a little bit, but maybe you'll be playing spoiler.
Spoiler to that, I'm not playing spoiler to anyone,
You're
but
not playing spoiler. So
but
you're just in for a fun week. You
just
can make whatever lineup
exactly.
change you want
We're
and
gonna try some things.
just
I say.
start some momentum for next
I
year.
think that's what we're gonna have to do. So yeah, Gage kind of he kicked my butt. He earned the win. Um, but looking at the Lone Rangers versus Saquon D's nuts.
Speaking
Um,
of bottom feeders,
yeah, 10th and 14th place respectively here. Both of them have some decent players on their team. It's just it's not really enough to get you into better positioning in the entire league. Joe Burrow finally came back for Billy to play, and he got pretty much what he was projected to get, which is great.
yeah, we had a Joe Burrow versus Patrick Mahomes matchup.
Yeah, yeah. Now Mahomes got a lot more than what he was projected, so
Yeah, he had a
um,
good game.
that's a big difference there. Saquon Barkley is kind of hey, I don't think he's been the same since he got hurt.
No, he hasn't been, and he hasn't been the same since you didn't get to draft him.
That's exactly what it
So,
was. Things would be so
yeah,
much different. I mean, Billy might have been in a better position if he would have just. But you know what? I buried the hatchet with him when I beat him 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm not going to say any more about it. But I'm just saying, should probably,
yeah, and
yeah,
you
what
should
I'm
probably
saying.
not draft him next year.
Should probably not draft him next year if you're in fourth, overall.
Yeah.
So
But Sean, a little too late. He had a nice week, but
yeah,
just he was already kind of out of contention. So
it's kind of wild to think you have a team that has Patrick Mahomes and Brock Bowers. Wouldn't Brock is let's
Justin
see. Yeah,
Jefferson.
exactly. A team with these some big names on it um, are just not gonna make it in this year.
Unfortunately, we won't see Sean in the playoffs, no, but he'll be back next year.
Yeah, You can always count on him to be back next year.
What are you looking at next? What's on? What do you see on
Let's
your
let's
rundown?
take a look
Are we
here.
looking at? Are we looking at what's quite possibly the best matchup of last week?
I think it is. And do you think we should just save it? Should we just save it?
Yeah, let's save it.
Okay.
Let's look at Riggins, Riggs, and the Ultimate Stinkers.
Yes.
Kind of a stinker of a matchup.
Oh, it certainly
Um,
was.
to be honest with you, Riggins, Riggs a tough end of the season here, even after the name change. So that was one that didn't work out for him.
Yeah. Oh, just getting. I mean, he got -1 from Dyke. You know, that was tough. That was tough. Dyke got him -1.
Yeah,
Uh,
they got him -1,
and just
point
rest of the
one.
team just -0.1. Yep, -0.1. Good call. Good call. You're right. Uh, but ultimate stinkers. Tony, he's rolling with Josh Allen. He might not have gotten what he wanted out of the Pittsburgh game, but they had all they had to do was run the ball. So, I guess
Yeah, and
thankfully,
Tony really carrying some momentum. He's still technically alive in the playoff hunt. I think, we all know at this point that Trevin controls his own destiny, but Tony has the next best chance of making the playoffs if for some reason Trev goes down again
yeah,
next week.
it could be big. It could be big. It's Tony needed this to continue his stinky campaign, and he'll need one next week. He'll need one next week to
Right.
keep on stinking. Uh
And speaking of stinking,
oh,
guess whose team stunk last week?
mm, what did she tell us? Just let
Trev's team stinks.
Trev's team stinks. The I
He had
believe
a
he
chance.
was the original stink team, right? Wasn't he?
He was the original stink team.
Yeah.
He was supposed to show up last week,
Yeah.
take out Team AI.
Mm-hmm.
He could have clinched a playoff spot, but he lost to JJ pretty handily.
Yeah.
Didn't clinch the playoffs, so it still keeps several people alive going into the final week, which is
Good production out of Trevor Lawrence, RJ Harvey, and James Cook all had really good production. But then Amon-Ra St. Brown got hurt. He got hurt on
hurt.
on Thanksgiving, and it was like early in the game, I believe, too. So
It was first thing in the game because I have him in my other league, and that's what caused me to lose.
yeah, that's tough. I mean, you was really banking on Amon-Ra St. Brown to show up, and he could have. He definitely could have. They probably needed him. That's why. It's a good reason why they probably lost.
Right.
But
Team AI looked pretty good. Team
yeah,
AI, pretty consistent across the board, especially with Bryce Young. What that was a good play by JJ if
yeah,
he actually made the pick and it wasn't the computer that did it. And um, huge game from Bijan Robinson.
yeah, yeah. Huge game, taking it to the Jets. But they lost. But still, he did everything in his power to win it. But that last second field goal from the Jets, that was quite a kick. Barely made it through.
I That was close, but hey, a win's a win,
A
right?
win's a win. Now maybe it was the AI that told him to play Stephon Diggs over Jacoby Myers, because Jacoby could have even further cemented the win for Team
Right.
AI.
Yeah, maybe Jacoby Myers is with the trade to Jacksonville is fine to be a starting wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He may get the nod. He may get the nod in week 14 to see what he can do with JJ already clinching a playoff spot.
I think it might be worth a shot just to see how he does in the lineup.
Yeah, see what he does. Yeah, make your guys earn their spots. Stephon Diggs didn't have a great game. Why don't you give Jacoby Myers a shot? See what the computer says.
Throw him in. Throw him in.
Yeah, why not?
Well,
But
hey,
Trev, oh boy,
yeah,
Trev, he could have done it. He could have clinched. He still controls his own destiny, but he's got to be a little nervous going into week 14.
he's got to be. He's got to be. He's like you said, clinching the B hole, and then there shall be no illegal touching of that at the moment.
There will
So
not be any illegal touching there, but I don't even have a good segue to the next matchup because
no,
it just stunk so
that
bad,
one.
even though it was a point 0.9 point gap in victory. Neither team, Xander or Petrin, scored over 100 points. Both teams look like crap, but, and we'll talk about it in a minute,
Mm-hmm.
like we said, a win is a win, and Taylor Gang went to 11-2, albeit a very stinky performance.
I
He went to 11-2 and has captured captured for now the
the
number one seed in the
number one
playoffs.
scene. You know, I think he pulled a power move too on Xander. He definitely pulled like the he pulled a power move by not playing a D or a kicker and still getting the win.
I wonder, did he bench his kicker and his defense last minute after he had already gotten the victory because he was nervous that they would have had
Ah,
negative points?
uh-huh.
We may have to do a league investigation into that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be benching your kicker or your defense.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't, but it wouldn't have made a difference. It actually would
It
have
was a
made it
bold
even
strategy.
worse.
Yeah, it would have made it even worse. He still would have won, so no harm, no foul. But
In this instance. However, yeah, you're right though. I mean, it could have had
but
consequences.
even if there, just think, even if there was like sometimes there's stat changes after the fact,
Yeah.
and
They
just
take
think if
away
there
a
was a
fumble
stat
or something
change
like
for
that. Yeah.
negative, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Um, but yeah, even without a full roster, he was able to beat the team that finally listened to us and benched stinky Lamar Jackson,
Who
who
had a stinky game.
he did. I mean,
He
we've
made the
been
right
trying to
call
tell him.
putting Dak in there.
Yeah, he did. He did. And I appreciate that he finally, listened to the podcast, listened to us,
I
and
don't know why he didn't bring Terry McLaurin off IR though and put him in the starting lineup. He would have won.
that would have made a difference, a huge difference, especially putting him in for Zay Flowers, like you said. That would have. That's questionable. He could have played spoiler. Taylor Gang could be sitting in second place right now.
Yeah, he could be.
We'll
But
start that up. Yeah.
yeah, why don't we talk about, and I think you should gloat for a minute because you made a bold prediction last week. The
you know,
big the big the big weenie just wrapped up Wade Boggs and took him down.
they did. Yeah. Listen,
By point what, point seven, by 7/10 of a point.
I told
Point
you,
seven.
and I don't mean to pump myself up or pump the big weenie up, but I told you this was going to happen. I do mean to
Oh,
pump it
big
up. I am
weenie's already
pumping.
pumped up.
I'm using the pump on this one, and I am pumping this one up. Austin
And I and I
Powers,
and I do have
penis
to
pump,
say,
100%.
I am gonna spoil it. The big weenie was supposed to be our guest. I don't know where he is.
Mm,
I got a text from him about 10 minutes ago that said he's at a bar and
what?
he said he saw an opportunity to get out and he went out. So I don't know if we're gonna get a dose of the big weenie or not tonight. He was supposed to join us and gloat about his big win. He
Yeah.
may hop on here at some point, but I think he's out celebrating his big victory.
Well, deservedly so, I guess. And we'll allow it this time, but that should be a strike on his podcast, on his podcasting
It's just no
resume.
dedication.
He
But
did he did
he
make
was
commitment.
probably exhausted. He was probably exhausted taking out Wade Boggs style. So
Yeah.
he needed to let loose a little bit.
I feel like you should probably take point 0.8 points away from his total.
I can do that as commissioner. I can do that. I'm not gonna do it,
No, you know
but I
what?
can do it.
If it was against anyone else, I'd say let's just get in there and do it right now. But
Yeah, I mean, he knocked Drew down to the second seed
I, t-
right now in the
I
playoffs.
told I told everybody Drew was a 1 week wonder. That's what it was, and now
You said it.
now he's finally seeing like, oh, maybe I'm not.
You
The
brought him
big
down a
shot.
peg.
I did. That's what I've been doing. It's like in our matchup, you and I's matchup. I almost got you. I was like, I just showed you you weren't infallible, and
You give people some humble pie. Yep,
that's what I'm just doing. If it's um, the plate happens
the
to be
big
Mister
weenie humble pie.
exactly Mister Feeney's big weenie served on top of that. I'll tell you that much. He deserves this win.
The big weenie's still alive in the playoff hunt. Slim chance, but he's
He's
still alive.
still alive, and this is when we need the big
So could we
weenie
be seeing
to show
could
up.
we be seeing a big weenie in the playoffs? I don't know.
We need to see Big Weenie in the playoffs. He needs to show up. He needs to come out big, come out strong, and finish hard.
But why don't we? While we're talking about it,
Okay.
I did some I did some statistical analysis
Oh
today
boy.
around the playoffs. So let me kind of read off what I wrote, and I didn't have ChatGPT do this
No.
whatsoever.
No.
So let me just kind of read off some of the statistical analysis. I neglected my work today and spent my entire day doing this in Excel. So
As you should have.
basically what we're looking at is heading into the final week of the regular season, there are four teams that are still alive. We talked about Trev,
Yeah.
7-6. He controls his own destiny. And then Tony, Craig, and Gage are still alive. So
Yes.
basically how we look at how the playoffs are seeded is it's your record first and foremost. But if you have the same record as somebody, goes on your points, your total points scored.
Hmm.
So actually, what we see here is Tony has if Trev loses and Trev's odds to take the final spot in the playoffs are 74% right now.
Yeah.
Tony has the next best odds at 25% to take a playoff spot because Tony has actually outscored Trevin. Tony right now has 1,638 points. Trevin has 1,569 points. So if Trev loses and Tony wins, and Trev doesn't outscore him, Tony can clinch a playoff spot.
Yes.
Craig has about a 0.5% chance, and Gage has a 0% chance of making
He's
it.
still alive, but
At least that's what my algorithms tell me. So
okay.
here's the paths for everybody. I'll read these off to you. So Trevin is 7-6.
Yes.
So if he wins this week, he locks up the spot immediately. He does play Petrin, so he does have a tough matchup.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
even if he loses to 11-2 Petrin, he still gets in as long as Tony loses or none of the 6 and 7 teams catch him in points. So that combination gives him a 3 and 4 shot to make the playoffs. Now,
Hmm.
Tony's path.
Here it comes.
Tony is 6-7 and actually has the most points amongst the bubble teams, like I said, and that's huge for Tony to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But he plays JJ, who's 10-3. So he needs Trev to lose. They both need to finish 7-7, and if that happens, Tony wins the points tiebreak. So that gives Tony a 25% chance. And then Gage and Craig are both long shot city.
Yeah.
They're both 6-7, but they're so far behind in points. They'd both need to win. They need Trevin to lose. They would need to have to out. Craig would have to outscore Trevin by 46 points and Gage by 95 points. So those gaps are too big. So
Yeah. That's
basically what
gonna
we
be a lot.
said, Trevin controls his own destiny. Tony has the only real shot.
Yeah.
But there are miracles. So Gage and Craig still have a small shot.
And Trev's going up. You said Trev's going up against Petrin.
Trev is going up against Petrin, and I believe Tony's playing JJ.
Here's my question. Here's my thought. Because by not playing anybody on his league, but maybe play his backups and let Trev win this one.
Yeah, but
Who would you rather play? Trev, the original stinker in the playoffs, or Tony, the ultimate stinker?
that's a good question.
Tony sitting
But
there with the
Petron's also playing for seeding because I mean, albeit both 1 and 2 seeds get a bye in the first week,
Mm-hmm.
that could change your path to the final.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if Taylor Gang wins, he lost up the number 1 seed. Even if Wade Bogstyle wins, but if Wade Bogstyle wins and Petron loses, Wade Bogstyle takes first
He
place
takes a
back, takes
flip,
first seed back
and then he
because he has
potentially,
more points.
and then if Trev makes it in, and well, if Trev makes it in with a win, so Taylor Gang wins, Trev's potentially not going to be in. This is
Yeah, so Trev to solve all his problems has to win. No matter what happens, if Trev wins, he's in.
so Trev wins, he gets in, he's in sixth place. He will go against the first place who has a bye the first week. So he wouldn't go against.
No, so
No.
Trev would play. So how the playoff bracket would look because the 1 and 2, the 1 and 2 seed have a bye. So
Oh
the
yes, yeah. Trev
three
would
and
be
six play
playing.
each other, and the
Hmm.
4 and 5 play each
I
other.
see now. I see now. I see now. And okay, all right. And essentially,
So if the playoffs started this
yep.
week,
I'm looking at the bracket now.
yeah,
Yep.
Petra and Drew would have a bye. Trev would play JJ, and I would play Jimmy.
Yes. Yes. Okay. All right.
But
Now
that
it's
can
making sense. Now it's
mean
making
me,
sense.
Jimmy, me and Jimmy can flip flop. Petrin and Drew can flip flop, and then Trev can clinch. But
JJ's
the
pretty
other
much
guys
where he's
have a
at.
small chance.
Team AI is always going to be where he's at, pretty much.
Yeah, Team AI locked in the 3 seed.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
All right. Now it's all making sense. Did everyone catch that? All right. Good. Good. They all caught it
good.
apparently.
Let's
Pretty
look at
good.
superlatives.
Hey, let's take a look at the superlatives. And
There's two what a week. You want to take the first one?
yeah, I will. And I'll start off by saying that I'm proud of myself for actually having this done before we started. So
I'm very
yeah,
proud of you. I
thank you,
noticed that.
thank you. But hey, what a week! Which happened to be a week for Team AI. In an unfortunate series of events, Illegal Touching lost a narrow battle to Grace Chair's Cross Pattern. Illegal Touching scored the most points of any team in a loss, ending up in the wrong side of 129.8 points to 114.25 points final. If Amon-Ra St. Brown had a better performance, just whoever comes up with these what a weeks. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I let the computer do it. Like, I don't know if the computer understood that Amon-Ra St. Brown got hurt. It's not that he didn't.
I don't think it
It
did.
doesn't understand that, hey, he actually got really hurt. So
Yeah, and he would have needed to score probably over 15 points to even give
yeah,
Trev a chance
yeah, and that would have,
in the playoffs.
yeah, they could have.
So it's Amon Ross St. Brown's fault.
Yep, exactly. Drop him, but
Rico,
mm,
Taylor Gang, and we talked about this, scored the fewest amount of points in a win this week with 93.5. Looking ahead to next week, hopefully Illegal Touching and Maitri can get back on the winning side of things as they match up against Taylor Gang and the ET's Egabukake party, respectively. I still can't pronounce it.
yeah, well,
EG Bukake party, respectively, but it doesn't matter for Mike Tirico and Xander. The
no,
only matchup that really matters is Trev's.
that's true. That's really the one that we really do have to look at coming up. But yeah. So there's the spoiler. I am going up against Mike Tirico for the last game of the season. Would have been a lot better had I won to keep my playoff hopes alive. But
Yeah, you would have had a pretty favorable matchup.
that's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's my tagline. If you didn't
Sometimes
know,
it
I
happens.
say that all the time. So, but why don't you tell us about the top scoring players?
Lots of a couple quarterbacks. Aiden, he was on my bench, and
Yeah,
I picked Brock Purdy in favor of him. So I hated seeing Jordan Love as the second highest scorer. Regret not playing him.
yeah.
AJ Brown showed up for Gage.
Finally, saved the best for last,
Finally,
I guess.
it only took 13 weeks.
Yeah,
And then JJ had two, Bryce Young and Bijan Robinson, two studs,
yeah. The
rounding out
four
the
and
top
five.
five,
Yeah,
leading him to a victory.
yeah. He, that's who would have thought to play Bryce Young. You know,
Who would have thought?
who would have thought
I
that the
bet I
the
bet the robots
the
did.
robots thought they knew. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
The robots knew, so that's why Bryce Young was in there.
Well, the robots knew to play him, but unfortunately, you did not know, and you benched Jordan Love, and
I
he,
wish the robots would have told me to play Jordan Love.
yeah, that would have made a bit of a difference maker for you. And also for Trev benching Marcus Mariota. But Marcus Mariota has had ups and downs filling in for Jaden Daniels.
Yeah,
So
you can't hurt Trev for
yeah,
benching Mariota because he hasn't been very consistent.
yeah,
He had a fluke of a game, I'd say, on Sunday night.
yeah. He did. He did. I would have loved to see Mr. Feeney's big weenie play Jacoby Brissett and really pump up that score against.
Fun to
It
watch.
was. It was. It was. Um, But this really hurt his opponent.
First bad game this year.
Yeah,
I feel like he's always a high scorer. That was a tough one for Drew.
that's a bust. I'll call it. That's an official bust right there.
Yeah, that was for sure.
Yeah, but you know what? What was not unsurprising was Zay Flowers just
Oh
getting
yeah, typical Raven.
exactly.
The Ravens are a bad like I don't even I know we joke around. And
Yeah,
remember I'm saying this before they play the Steelers on Sunday.
yeah, exactly.
So
Hey, they're playing the Steelers that are angry now at themselves, and so
yeah, well they should because they stink.
yeah,
They're worse
um,
than Trev's team.
they are, they are. But it also stinks for Saquon D's nuts. Saquon Barkley only got 5.6 points.
He
Down.
probably would have had 25 points if he was on your team.
He probably would have because he would have been like, "Hey, you were supposed to draft me, and I'll get this win for you." But to be honest with you guys, I don't even think about I should have had him instead. So
There's always next year.
there is. But how about our game changer? I don't.
AJ Brown.
I've been talking about him all night, and the bastard really, really did me in. He did. I don't even want to read this one since it's about me. What are you?
Too long.
It is too long. You're right.
It's way
We
too
just
long.
got the game changer. Is stinking AJ Brown. All right, everyone. Happy. Listen,
Even the next one is way too long. The Monday Night Miracle with the big weenie pulling it out.
yeah, I will though. I'll tell you what. I'll read this one to revel in the call out for him, but.
Taking the bar over his friends.
Yeah. Hey, listen, this head-to-head came to do their job, okay? Wade Bogstyle was feeling good after Sunday's action, okay? Things were going great. They were favored with just the Monday night gig from behind. Again. Let me say that again. Mr. Feeney's big weenie coming from behind to prevail to 104.6 to 103.9. It wasn't really about what Mr. Feeney's big weenie did. I don't know. They say it's not what it does. It's the motion of the ocean.
It's the motion of the ocean,
Exactly.
right?
But it's actually what Travion Henderson didn't do, which was, not offer the reach around, I guess is what it was. Failing to meet their projection and allowing Mr. Feeney's big brush it off, gently.
Big shout out to the big weenie. Big shout out to the big weenie.
Yeah, I feel like when you need anyone's weenie to come through, it's Mr. Feeney's big weenie. That can
Mr.
do
Feeney
it.
always came through for people.
He did.
It's sad, Adam. This is the and I know we'll have to get some playoff podcasts in.
We can, yeah.
I think we can, but this is the last. We're going into week 14, the last week of the season.
Yes, yeah. It's gone by really quick, hasn't it?
It has been.
It's
been fun though.
It has. That's what I was about to say. It has been fun. It's been filled with ups and downs. I feel like we say that. I think we just forget about the previous year. So maybe when it happens to you, it sucks. Especially like losing your second round pick in Tyreek Hill, who may or may not have been tripped up by. I'll tell you what. Let's just take a look at this last week here. We can.
Yeah, a couple matchups to focus on, a couple ones that don't really matter, but
Yeah,
it should still shape up for a little bit of drama, hopefully.
I'll tell you what. I'll start with mine since it doesn't really matter. I'm going up against it. It is. And I feel like I can make some moves to get back into the get the win. Maybe potentially bolster myself up to 10th place. Maybe potentially. We'll see. We'll see about it. But
Jane Daniels might be back.
Exactly. We'll just see. This is just for fun, and if Xander wants to play Lamar Jackson this week, go for it.
Yeah, why don't you put Lamar Jackson in this week?
Why don't just and have him come out and take a knee for the last week.
Last week. knowing him playing the Steelers, he'll go off this week.
Oh yeah.
So keep him on your bench.
Just yeah.
You were in the hunt there for a while. Tough loss last week, but
Yeah,
hey,
it was.
for one more time this year, I'm gonna pick you with the pick you to take down Mike Tirico, and
Yeah,
just for
just
pride's sake.
exactly for pride. And like I said, I am gonna adjust my roster. I think I have two people on bye, so let me just adjust my roster, and I think that'll be enough to secure a projected win.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good, good.
So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, appreciate it, Xander. It was a fun year. Somebody had to be 13th, if not 14th. We'll see what happens. So,
Yeah.
how about this is Craig? You know
Oh,
he
the
needs
big
a win.
weanie's back.
That's a tough call to make. Who you gonna put in, especially going up against P Mahomes. But P
Right. It
Mahomes
could be.
is going up against Houston again.
Yeah, Craig really needs to make some conscious lineup decisions this week because he needs Trevin to lose, and like I said, he needs to outscore him by about 60 points.
Yeah,
So he's really got to focus on the roster if he even wants to have a shot at getting in the playoffs.
I'm thinking you got
But Paul might be playing spoiler.
yeah. He the push they need to get in. So
Right, but you know what? I'm not after his big week.
yeah, I feel good
I'm
about
not
him.
betting against the big weenie.
You
I'm picking the
can't
big
you
weenie to win.
can't bet. Yeah, you
I
can't
don't
bet
think he's
against
gonna
him.
make the playoffs, but I'm gonna pick him to make it close.
Listen. He might have just needed a little bit of a performance enhancement. Um, in a certain way. And I do believe it was it JJ who was sponsored by Blue Chew earlier this
It
year.
was either him or Gage.
It might have been Gage. It might have been Gage. I'll tell you what, it was probably
Gage is
Gage.
sponsored by Butterfinger now.
But yes, he is. Nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger. Gage. That's what started the fight. So yeah,
Yeah.
I do also agree. I'm going Mr. Feeney's Biggie Weenie for the win. Um, but Drew against Anthony. Drew doesn't have a very large projection here, but he only has seven players in his lineup, so he's gonna have to
Yeah,
make some lineups. Yep,
Drew's gonna have to make some lineup changes, which he always does.
he does. Yep, he's very conscious of that. But his big name, Drake May, his big QB on
He's on
bye.
bye.
Yeah, and so is Jackson Dart. Uh-oh.
So he's got Travion Henderson. He's got a lot of guys on bye this week.
This
So is Anthony ready to play spoiler? Are you ready to make that call again?
yeah. Look at this. I think
Yeah, and he
in the
doesn't have a
waivers,
kicker either.
and he doesn't have a kicker. I'll tell you what, if Anthony can, because he's got two on bye as well. He's got Tyrone Tracy Jr. and the 49ers D on bye. So he's all he's got to do is plug in another flex, potentially Bucky Irving. I would probably say Bucky
Yeah, he's
Irving.
back.
He's back and he had a pretty good game. And for the defense,
He can pick up a
yeah,
defense anywhere.
he
So
certainly could. So this could be Anthony coming away with the
yeah, you know what? You
spoiler.
know what? Just for the fun of it, I'm picking Anthony.
Yeah,
No fault of Drew's. I think he has too many holes in his lineup this week.
yeah. Didn't think of that. He didn't think of that coming into week 14. He did not look ahead to see. So, um, it's. I mean, even though he can handle a loss probably and still
Yeah,
feel
he'll
pretty good.
still right.
But who knows? Maybe this loss could come back to bite him in the playoffs.
You never know. Right
Reagan
now he
Riggs.
has a bye.
Reagan
With
Riggs
that
is going to
last.
rig this game.
Yeah, are we both going Anthony?
And we're both going Anthony on this one.
Nice.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
luck, man.
Okay, coming up, we got the Joy of Painting versus Billy Top Trevin Bottom in a matchup where I want Jimmy to win because Gage just beat me.
Yeah. Gage gets the top bunk.
Because he gets he when he farts, it just comes straight down the bed, and it's like, come on, man, I'm right here.
Yeah, Gage a must win for Gage, so he has to win. has to outscore Trev by about 100 points.
Yeah, he
Um,
he has to have the
he's
game of his life, and right now he
Yeah,
is.
he basically has to break league records and points scored and that kind of thing to even have a shot. But hey, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't.
He's forced to go with
Jimmy's just
Alvin
playing for
Kamara.
positioning at this point.
Yeah, yeah, he is. Gage is forced to play Kamara at the moment, and
Yeah, and
that's not going to go good.
he's too worried. He's too worried.
All right. Um, Ultimate Stinkers. Ooh,
This is a big one.
this is whoa.
This is a big one for Tony.
Tony is currently up, projected. We're just going this night now. JJ still doesn't have one player to put in his bench, and who's that player? His quarterback. So
Yeah, he's got a couple guys that are.
uh
He got a lot of guys on
he
bye
does, and guess who?
fighting for a quarterback.
They're going to be fighting for a quarterback, and this might be Tony's time. This is Tony from the bottom to the top. From the bottom to the top.
Can he do it?
Stink rises, just like with heat. Stink rises, and I think he can do it. I think he's hitting this week 14 with his best chance ever. And he's sitting with both Josh Allen and Matt Stafford, and with two of the top three teams needing a quarterback.
Yeah, he is a good team on paper. So I think I'm with you. I think no matter what lineup changes JJ makes, I think the Ultimate Stinkers have the power to take down the artificial intelligence. So
Yeah,
yeah, I'm going with Tony.
I'll tell you what. If Tony makes it into the playoffs, oh boy, oh buddy, oh buddy.
Yeah.
And it might be if he makes it into the playoffs. And Jason,
So there's
I'm
still a
just
lot
saying,
that needs to happen,
there's a lot that needs to
but
happen,
he has a chance. He really does.
and he needs to have Trev lose this game.
Yeah, because the next one I think you're going to look at is Trev's.
Exactly.
Trev's projected to win, but Adam needs to make a couple lineup changes
Well, he definitely has to put a different kicker.
as on by, so he's going to have to
Yikes.
make a couple lineup changes as well.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a tough one, because even if he did nothing else other than put in a kicker at most gets you maybe 10 points or so, if
Yeah.
at most. Still doesn't come. Still pretty low compared to projected total for Trev. So think.
Yeah, so I think he's
Oh
going to
boy.
change there, and we don't know about Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's on his bench, and Kittle. So we'll see. I think honestly, for drama's sake, Adam, I'm going to pick Petrin because I want to see some drama go down in the last week.
Yeah, I think he's gonna clinch it, and I'll I'll tell you what. From a top down point of view, it's
Yeah, I'm Tony's team makes me nervous, but yeah,
so
so
does
we'll
Trev.
see.
So does Trev's. Not saying anything.
Yeah, so I'm garnering a bet Trev's a little nervous going into the last week. He's really the only team that has to be, but
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think it's always fun. Drama's good. Drama's good in this, and it at least it gives us something to talk about, because my
yeah,
my matchup is not going to be anything to talk about coming up next weekend. I'm going up against
yeah,
you're giving Billy a chance to if he can beat you, at least it'll be like, oh hey, I won a third game.
uh,
This is for your playoff hopes, if
yeah.
yeah.
I gotta get Jordan Love back in there. Yeah. I'm in the playoffs, but
uh, not the best year for you this year. I think that's 2 years in a row now, but I think you've solidified yourself in our league. It's next year. Just freaking
it's your year.
pick the right. Stay in your lane for who
Stay in
you're
your
supposed
lane.
to
Don't
who
pick.
you're supposed to pick.
Yeah, stay
I
in
mean,
your
I'm not
lane.
bothered next year, but that pretty much wraps up our podcast for this week here. Did you happen to see, though, the big news out of the Steelers camp?
They signed Adam Thielen.
They did. I wouldn't have felt so bad about my loss if that was the case.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
So, But
Ready for a change.
yeah,
So,
no.
but you know
But
what he can do?
what can he do?
He can frig right
He
off.
can freak the freak right
He
off.
probably
You're
can
right.
frig off at the bar.
That would have been